Can you believe we're already 10 days deep into the month of November? That's kind of amazing, isn't it? And people are still dwelling on the election from last Tuesday, happened in a couple of liberal enclaves. People are a little uppity about it. And of course, we've had our share of uppity here. We've talked about it a number of times, some of the things, what it means, who's responsible, what Democrats have to do as a result of these people becoming important, powerful members of their party. And so what about that? Obviously, everybody, when they lose an election, is like navel gazing or anal gazing or some kind of gazing. So we'd like to join in the fun, not because of what happened last Tuesday, but because it tells us things about what we need to do for every election. And New Hampshire has town elections coming up. So it's important now to start thinking about how important those elections are, since they're such low turnout events, typically, as are municipal elections generally, which we just had last week as well in the state. And the Democrats did better because, well, there's reasons. And we'd like to talk about that and what we need to do. So someone sent me a link to an article from a gentleman named Michael Hurley, and it's really very good. It's over at American Thinker, and it really kind of hits the nail on the head. Quote, "No one at this late hour should be unaware of what the stakes are. We are in a spiritual war between good and evil, between the forces of order and the agents of chaos. Full stop." So let's say so clearly without apology or embarrassment. Tell people they're in a war, and a great many of them will show up to vote. Tell them they're in a debate over monetary policy and energy development initiatives, and most of them will hit the snooze button and sleep in. The forces of evil do not fail to understand our program. They are not casting about for a better balance of trade. They know they're in a war for power, and they intend to win it, which is why they fight so passionately. Abortion isn't an issue for them, it's a sacrament. Climate change isn't a scientific debate, it is a religious worldview that gives their lives meaning and purpose. Politics for the left isn't an intellectual sport to be conducted within the polite parameters of free speech. It's an unholy crusade to be won by any means necessary, including censorship, lawfare, defamation, perjury, conspiracy, insurrection, and assassination. It's true. That is really at the core of the left, lives and breathes these things, and it uses them to motivate everyone through fear and intimidation of the opposition, which would be us. And we don't do that, at least not as well as they do. And it matters. They get butts out of the seats, off the couches, on the streets, and into the polling places. And we need to find a better way to do that. Turnout is the only thing that matters. It kills us in the midterms. It kills us in town elections every single year. My town has 18,000 registered voters. If 4,000 show up for town election, that's surprising. And what's really surprising is this, those 4,000 people decide how much money they will have to spend on property taxes to pay for everything, especially schools, which are very poor, don't do a good job, and have a tendency to do things to their children they don't like. And yet they don't come out and stop it. They don't support candidates who will vote for something different. And so you get what you vote for, right? We say that how often? All the time now. But you have to go out and vote. You have to show up. We just need to do a better job of getting people out to vote. Let's continue with Michael Hurley here a little bit. At the policy level, the contrast between the two parties hardly needs better clarification. It is clearer now than ever before. No sentient human being, certainly not in the wake of the disastrous Biden years, could honestly believe that any Democratic candidate is going to deliver lower inflation, higher wages, a thriving manufacturing sector, a more secure border, fewer narcotic drug deaths, fewer gang murders, lower health care, greater affordability, lower violent crime, safer and cleaner streets, better education, or less red tape. Democrats have failed consistently and spectacularly at all of those things. So let's think about this a little bit. We've got some really hard truths in front of us, and we've got an election to give us an example, and we have a few months to do something about it. So let's think and plan, and we're going to spend some time in this space on it to help people motivate Republicans and independents to turn out and vote against all that garbage that the Democrats want, that they know they want, because that's their cult. And there is no other cult for them. That's it. All right, more happy news on a Monday. Don't forget to check out Grok Talk later, and we'll talk tomorrow.